Y is recorded in front of a live studio audience. This is Y, with your hosts, Heidi Hedquist and Luke Poling.
We have here Perry and Wes from Banter. I Hardly Knew Her, correct?
Banter, I
Is
hardly
that the
know
full name
her.
of the show?
Yeah,
Hardly
just
know
it's
Know
a
her. Sorry.
no worries. That one is like a common misconception.
So we feel your pain.
I'd call myself one. Wes is my. What would you say, Wes?
All right. I like it.
A sidekick to the fanatic.
So Heidi and I were debating the worst of the Disney villains, and this got us down a whole rabbit hole of issue. So Heidi went with Mary Poppins because she's constantly gaslighting and lying to the children about actually what happened. I went with Herbie because best case scenario, you're going to get run over.
Wait, so you're saying that they are bad Disney villains, or like they're good at being? Wait, Herbie's
but
not a
they
villain,
are in
is he?
our
I'm
minds.
confused.
Like they.
Mary Poppins isn't even a villain.
So who is the most evil of them all?
Right.
I said Mary Poppins, and Luke said Herbie for the aforementioned reasons.
Okay.
And I'm sticking with my answer because I have felt this way for many a decade.
I would agree with the Herbie statement because he made a mockery of NASCAR, which is my closet favorite thing to watch.
See, there you go.
Thank you.
As if it wasn't a big enough joke by itself. They made it.
That's funny.
I had issues with when he went bananas because I have issues with bananas, so that would put him in my top 5.
So you guys put together some questions for us.
Yes.
To see if we know what the heck we're talking about.
Which we don't.
And so this is either going to look really great and we're going to impress all of our listeners, or more likely we're just going to see our numbers just drop off that cliff even more. So let's see how sure we can make this.
Wow.
No.
No, there's very few things where we consider ourselves experts on. Joni Loves Chachi.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mr.
the
Belvedere.
second Red Cross
Luke is
record.
A bona fide.
Mr. Belvedere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spirit of 76.
Bellhead is the term we like to use.
David Lee Roth. His ice cream preferences.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I will start with what is potentially the easiest of these 5. They're all tough, but which Disney animated feature film lost the most money for the studio?
Is it Robin Hood that reused the Jungle Book's backgrounds? Am I correct on that? I believe. This has nothing to do with the actual question you're asking, but I was.
And the snake was basically the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of those 70s movies reused a lot of characters.
We can't even do trivia, right?
Yeah.
All right, so and we obviously know it's not Black Cauldron, but go. Yes.
Yeah. All right, so multiple choice. Multiple choices. A, The Black Cauldron. B, Treasure Planet. C, Chicken Little. Or D, Home on the Range.
Oh, so and the other thought too, we have to factor in those are a lot later, which means the bucks were bigger. So it could be a little bit of a trick.
keep meaning to watch it.
Treasure Planet.
I keep hearing really good things about it.
All right, what's it gonna be?
I think we say Treasure Planet. Yes.
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Final answer? Okay, that
Very
is
nice.
correct.
Yes.
It is
Yay,
Treasure
us.
Planet. And you're on the right track with the Black Cauldron. That is definitely one of the biggest flops, but they didn't spend
You're
the
right,
money that Treasure Planet spent 140 million, not even including marketing expenses, and they only made 109 million back. So it's somewhere in the neighborhood of, at least 30 million loss, maybe more. Whereas Black Cauldron was I think it was 44 million budget, something like that, and 25 back in box office. So not quite as big of a loss.
Yes. Next one. Now we're
Yeah,
on hot. Let's go.
Hot streak. Here we go. All right. So like I said, since I'm the sidekick fanatic or fanatic sidekick, whatever you want to call it, Perry's questions are probably better than mine, but I could start over right now if you want me to.
Oof.
Your options are A, Mr. Fulton, B, Mr. Evans, C, Donald Glover, or D, Mr. Bolton.
Donald Glover is really
Fulton.
good, but I feel like he's probably not principal material. I'm thinking just because of the shirtless dancing, it's probably.
No, he's a country club.
Oh, country
owner.
club. Sorry.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Childish Gambino is not going to be running a country club. That's not his theme.
Hey, if Kanye can run for president, he can run a country club.
Probably not.
Okay.
Good point. Be a way better country club than most.
Seriously. What were the first two?
A was Mr. Fulton, and B is Mr. Evans.
All right, what's the next one I will do is from the parks, and there's a bonus half point, but I wrote it in there assuming you'd be going at each other, but I'll still give you the
going
bonus
at each
anyway.
Other.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Because we're on the same team. Doesn't change that.
Expedition Everest and the Hollywood Tower Hotel are the same height. What height is that? The choices are A, 163 feet, B, 189 feet, C, 199 feet, or D, 215 feet.
Well, because the Tower of Terror is 13 stories. So if we add an extra story at the top for your elevator, what have yous, and residency for staff, that's 14. You're saying 6 foot 6. What's the average height for a room, Heidi? You're thinking
9 or 10 feet.
Yeah. Okay. So that's in the 120.
Have you guys been to Disney World parks?
I love the Tower of Terror.
Nice. Nice.
And I threatened to kill Minnie Mouse when I was 3 because I wanted to marry Mickey Mouse, but that's that's a story for therapy. While Luke does math.
Yeah. Okay. Heidi, you dropped something there.
I did.
Yeah, you dropped a few names.
Yes, that's all I got.
Okay, the options were A, 163 feet, B,
Okay.
189, C, 199, D, 215.
I think we were on one of the first two.
Okay.
Because if we're saying 10 feet of 9 to 10 feet of floor, if we're assuming the Tower of Terror is around 14 stories. So do we go with A, that lowest number, that in the 130s, 140s? Is that what it was? The A answer was
120.
A is 163.
Oh yeah, yeah, we can go with that.
okay. I think so, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll take A.
Okay, so the correct answer is actually C, 199.
Oh,
And the bonus
Wow.
was going to ask if you knew why. Needing to have a tower or like a light pole or a for planes on top. If it's over 200 feet in Florida, you need to have a light pole on the top of the building. So they kept it at 199 at both of those attractions, so they would not need a big pole with a light on it. 163, I believe, is the height of the Epcot Ball, and 189 is the height of Cinderella's Castle.
Do you have that written down there, or are you just doing that off of by memory?
I mean, I have it written down. I forget if I looked up the heights before making the multiple choice, but
Wow.
yeah, that's what I wrote down all the multiple choice.
Wow. Okay. So you just knew that off the top of your head. You were just like, Epcot's this.
Yeah, I might have got it mixed up by a foot or two, but
who's gonna hold you on it?
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Number 2. What is the name of Aladdin's magic carpet? Is it A, Donovan, B, Pratik,
Donovan would have been amazing. Donovan should have been the carpet.
okay, my next question is back to Disney Animation.
Okay.
Who is the first? Well, fun fact: this question was the only question that my team got wrong at the last Disney bar trivia we went to. So I decided to include it.
Great.
Who is the first Disney animated character to break the fourth wall in a movie? A, Dopey, B, Jiminy Cricket, C, Genie, or D, Kronk?
I think it's Genie.
All right. Well, I think. You think? Doesn't Jiminy Cricket kind of talk to the audience?
Well, he tells us all to wish upon stars and.
Exactly. Yeah, that's talking. That's the fourth wall. Heidi.
But that's like ethereal, the
what they
fourth
call
wall.
that.
It's not actually like, hey, which would be Genie.
Well, no. And can you never do that to the camera again, please?
Yes, I promise.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Snow White was 39, 38, 39, I believe, late 30s. And so that's going to be too early to start messing with the constraints of film. So I don't think that's out. I think that's out.
Pinocchio came right after.
Yeah,
wasn't
40s. But you thinking Genie?
Exactly. So
A lot of things can happen in a year. All right, a Genie. Let's say that. Yes.
Okay. Locked in. Luke, you should have stuck with your guns. It was Jiminy Cricket. He does break the fourth wall, but Heidi, if it makes you feel any better, when we were in the bar trivia, we answered Genie, and we did get it wrong. So
that 1 or 2 years really made a big
You're
difference
right.
in cinema.
Interesting.
Okay.
We're going to Pixar, folks. Going to Pixar. In A Bug's Life, what are the 2 ingredients used to create a telescope? Is it A, a piece of glass and a pop can, B, a rock and a water drop, C, a piece of grass or leaf and a water drop, or D, a piece of grass and their eyeball?
I feel like it's, I know the king of the ants from that movie. I have his email. Not bragging, just saying it happens.
I met
Um,
David Foley at Disneyland when he was just David Foley of Kids in the Hall, and I was the only person who recognized him.
That's amazing.
Very nice.
It was pre-news
There you go.
radio.
Wow. I don't think glass is involved. I feel like it's a drop of water and
I
a
think
leaf.
it's the eyeball. Oh, but that's with grass. You're right.
Eyeball?
So that would be with grass. No, never mind. Well, you were right last time, and we went with mine, so we'll go with yours.
So I can't wait to be wrong on this. Is there one that is grass and a drop of water and that's it?
Nicely done.
That's our thank you.
But yours haven't been easy, by the way.
Right.
All right.
Okay, so my fourth question is, this is from like Disney corporate history, from Disney Animation. I listen to a lot of the Bancroft Brothers animation podcast, and so I actually heard this from that podcast. A couple guys used to animate for Disney movies in the Renaissance period. Anyway, which animated film was largely considered to be a B-team film by Disney executive Jeffrey Katzenberg? And the multiple choices are A, Beauty and the Beast, B, Aladdin, C, The Lion King, or D, Pocahontas?
All right. Well, I think we can throw away The Lion King because that was something Katzenberg said was based on his life. So then we get to Aladdin, do you say Aladdin? Yeah. Beauty and the Beast.
Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King, and Pocahontas.
It's got to be, right?
I think so.
You don't put a racist in your A movie. Like that's a B movie kind of thing.
It was the 90s.
Are you locking that in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you would think that it would be Pocahontas out of those
Is it
four.
Beauty and the Beast? Because my gut was telling me Beauty and the Beast for some reason.
As the story goes, there was while The Lion King and Pocahontas were in production at the same time, there was a meeting where Jeffrey Katzenberg sat everybody down in the whole, like, to basically check in on the projects they were working on, and he basically said that Pocahontas was their hit movie that they were working on, that was what they were gonna focus on. That was gonna make all the money, and then The Lion King was their like B-team project.
Wow. Really?
As the story goes.
All right, you two. I have a quote for you to identify. Are you ready? Was it A, Carl from Up, B, Buzz Lightyear, C, Max Goof, or D, Genie?
I was thinking Up at first, but I've been really wrong. My instincts have been wrong, so
I feel like I just I was gonna say I feel like we just watched Up with the kids, and I excused myself for the first 20 minutes and then came back. I would argue one of the best 10-minute openings in film. But anyway,
it is, but
it does sort of sound like a Robin Williams-esque.
Well, it sounds like it could have been a lot of them. It does, but
Buzz Lightyear seems like he wants to fly, so I feel like he wouldn't admit that they're not flying, right?
True.
I think it's either. Did you say Max from the Goofy movie?
He was an option.
Was that C? Okay, and then D was Genie. That seems like a Robin Williams kind of line. But I defer to you on this one, Heidi, because I have not done well.
No, your instincts have been right. Mine have been wrong. I felt like it was Carl, so I think, but it does feel like it could. It really, that's a really hard one because it's the first one that every single answer makes perfect sense to me. that it could be all of
Yeah.
them.
Well, yeah.
So point and
I
shoot.
think it's Genie.
All right.
Let's say
Ooh,
Genie.
The answer is Buzz Lightyear.
Oh,
Ah,
Buzz
Yep.
Lightyear.
what?
At the end of the first movie, though,
oh.
Let's.
it's actually interesting, Wes.
Said
That,
twice,
that
yeah.
quote is sort of said by Woody as well. He says, "You're not
Oh.
flying, you're falling with style." And at the end of the movie, Buzz finally
He's trying to
admits
drop him in the car.
that they're not actually flying. He's not
See,
actually flying.
Oh.
I think if Woody had been an
Mm.
option, I think I would have picked it because it would sound like
Mhm.
something Woody would say to Buzz. But
And he did say it to.
but Buzz also said it,
Yeah.
so it just wasn't one of the options.
I
Alright,
thought
so
of
So
this
it's
is
a good thing you didn't
embarrassing.
include Woody as an option, Wes, because that would have
I
been.
could have put a both A and B option.
Right?
Alright.
All right.
Alright, so how are we doing here? We're out
Yeah.
of 10 now.
4
We're at
points.
4.
We have
Okay.
2 left. You got to get at least one, right? Got to get at least
Right, we
half.
have to get
Yeah,
half.
yeah.
So here's my 5th question. It's Disney live action. What was Disney's
Helen Hayes.
first
Oh,
live action movie? A. Treasure Island.
Mm.
B. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. C. Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier. Or D. Westward Ho, The Wagons.
I want it to be Davy Crockett because I totally have the hots for Fess Parker.
This explains so much. Does that count though? Because and the films weren't called Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier. That was the TV show. The films were something with the keel boats, and there was another one, 2 taken from. Anyway,
Okay. So
I think it's got to be either Treasure Island or 20,000 Leagues. Because if you're going to go big, you want to go big.
So I was thinking either Treasure Island or Westward Ho for some reason. So maybe it's not Treasure. You know what I'm saying? The first one.
Treasure Island? Okay, let's say Treasure Island and embarrass ourselves.
Why not?
Treasure Island is correct.
Yeah.
1950.
Oh, thank
Look at
you.
us.
Oh, thank you, L. Ron
First
Hubbard. Okay,
ever-
perfect.
Starring Bobby Driscoll, who also went on to voice Peter Pan in
Yes,
1953.
My
So
favorite.
there you go.
There should be a documentary about him, but
Yes,
Yeah.
there should.
an incredibly depressing documentary about him.
Yeah.
Well, there's that.
Sure.
But all good
That's true.
documentaries
Every
are
documentary
a little bit.
gets you in the feels, even if it shouldn't.
That's
Mhm.
true. That's very true.
I've probably
Well,
cried
yeah.
watching like how it's made video. So
Yeah, for sure. I have to. Yes.
Hey, we loved Our Planet when we were living together. Actually, wait, maybe that was the year after that. Never mind that. That was the year after that. Yeah.
It's that Attenborough voice that comes through and just it comes. Yeah.
Yes.
all right. Well, you
Yeah.
guys have officially gotten
Love it.
half, so that's good.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're batting
Let's see if you can
500.
bat 600
So
one more.
This is the last
All right.
hurrah.
Which Disney princess attended Elsa's coronation? Was it A. Belle, B. Cinderella,
I think I
C.
know.
Moana, or D. Rapunzel?
It's Rapunzel. Because Belle's not at the coronation. Belle's in another one. Isn't Belle entangled? Walking to the bookshop.
okay, well, if we're going with the story,
Well, no, it's like an
I don't
Easter
know.
egg. It's an Easter egg. There's an Easter egg
Right.
of Belle. There's definitely an Easter egg of Belle walking through the town square reading the book but I can't remember if that's in Rapunzel or Frozen. So that's why I think it might be
I think that would be more of a Tangled thing. The Belle walking through the streets.
Right. So that's why I think maybe Rapunzel then showed up at the coronation.
The Court of Arendelle. Okay, I can
Mhm.
see that. Who got better seats, Rapunzel or the Duke of Weaselton?
I'm sure Whistleton. I'm sure
Yeah,
he was
something.
probably given a seat in the back and took someone's seat in the front.
Yeah,
That's
about
probably
right.
He
true.
little
Okay.
hopped his way up to the front. He had his little
Yeah.
goons
All right, so are
clear
you
out the
guys
seats.
locking in
Yeah.
Rapunzel?
All right. I think so, right?
That's
Sure.
good because that's the right answer.
But yeah.
It's an Easter egg
Woohoo!
as
Oh.
it's panning in. You see the people after they've opened the gates walking into the castle court area, and she's right at the very bottom of the page with her man Flynn Rider and her cut short hair.
Flynn Rider.
Mhm.
I love her.
Oh.
attire.
That bell Easter egg was actually from Hunchback.
Thank you. I knew it was
Of the
something, but it was way back.
Oh.
It was further back. All
Mhm.
right. That's my favorite line in a Disney movie is from Flynn Rider. When he
Oh,
says,
yeah?
I'm not going to say it exactly right, but when he says like he's always had a thing for brunettes, best part.
Yeah.
I love the line, freak out. Why would he freak out over your magical hair and the magical powers that it possesses?
I love him. He's my favorite of the
we
gents
love Flynn Rider.
by far. Right.
Yeah, big Flynn Rider, guys.
Yes.
6 out of 10.
Whew.
Well, Wes and Perry from Banter, I hardly know her. That's correct.
Yes.
Right? Present tense?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Thank you. Thank you so much for putting this together and embarrassing us and showing our weaknesses. It's nice to have somebody else do it for a change. Don't you think, Heidi?
I know, right? I know. It's nice for us
Yeah.
to be on the
You guys
same side.
did
That
good.
never happens. Before we let you go off to better things, just share with us, just so we make sure we don't screw it up for our listeners, best way to find your show, as well as anything you might want to tease with anything coming up.
Well, first of all, you can find Banter I Hardly Know Her on Spotify, Apple Pods, anywhere that you typically stream podcasts. I think we're there. If not, let me know and I'll try to be there. But yes, Banter_pod Insta, and then at Banter Podcast on Facebook. In terms of some of our upcoming episodes, we're doing our Christmas special here in a week or so. We're going to try to put that together, and it should be coming out on the 15th. We'll be building our own Hallmark movie, basically.
Ooh.
So building a Hallmark Christmas movie, Banter style. So
Yes. So if you love Hallmark Christmas movies,
Yep.
or if you hate them, you're gonna have a good time.
And we just finished a couple episodes in the recent months on High School Musical, and we did a big Avatar: The Last Airbender episode. We did a Christopher Nolan episode recently, so we've got a lot of fun stuff that just got released in the last couple months.
Yes, there's some great shows on.
Wonderful.
Love it. Perfect.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you taking the time. And yeah, I'm pleased we're not complete idiots on this stuff.
You can follow us on all the various socials. Our website is whythepodcast.com and has all sorts of additional stories and videos. It's also where you can sign up for our newsletter. We're also on YouTube if you're into that kind of thing.
Why the Podcast is part of Mudhouse Media. Today's show was produced by myself and Heidi Hegquist.